What's up? This is Food and Philosophy episode 44. We're still on The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. But as always, first, food. And I'm going to give a shout out to my guy at Outa Town Pop. He got me all these crazy international chips, drinks, cookies. And this one banana cream soda. I'm going to start with a sip of that. All right. This soda is quite amazing. Shonen, I think that's how you say it. I'm going to give this drink a 3. If you're into banana, this is like over a 3, even though there's no such thing. If I see this again in the store, or next time I see my guy, I'm gonna ask him for another one of these. This is a 3. Got these. These are made with real beef. It's a barbecue beef Cheeto. It says right here, made with real beef. It's from Japan. And I love Cheetos. If I was still doing the 30 donuts, 30 days, I'd make a donut with these Cheetos. And apparently they're much stronger than we are here in Japan than in the United States, because I can't even get this bag open. Oh my God. All right. I don't need to work out today now. Oh, it definitely smells like meat. Kind of like a top ramen type thing when, it kind of has that meat flavor, even though there's no meat in there. Meat smell. It's a little on the sweet side, but I definitely taste the meat. More, please. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 3. He had other amazing flavors. I would 100% eat this one again if he was like, here's a bag. There were so many other flavors that I feel like I would want to try the other flavors to decide first. Whereas that soda, I'm getting that every time. Now, the thing I was most excited to eat is a Snickers butterscotch flavor. I don't know where the butterscotch is, but I will find out right now. So excited, I'm dropping it. It's smaller than a regular size Snickers. You can smell the butterscotch when you smell it. Coming in a sheet later, so it looks like it's instead of caramel, it's got the nougat, the peanuts, the butterscotch. While is definitely there, and you can definitely say this is a butterscotch Snickers. And kind of gets muted out by the peanuts. I don't normally get Snickers bars, and I certainly wouldn't have got this one unless it said butterscotch on it. In fact, the only reason why I got this was because it said butterscotch. So for a Snickers bar, this is my favorite Snickers bar that I've ever had. As far as candy goes, I'm going to give it a 2. As far as candy bars go, I'm going to give it a 2. Like, I don't need to eat this ever again. But if I was going to eat a Snickers, it will be this one, if they have it. And then the last one I got here is cinnamon bun Oreo from Korea. Yeah. Palate cleanser. Yeah, those are a little sweet. I prefer it to be more savory. And I'm still going to keep eating them. Oh, 2 little packets, so cool. Don't have to open up the whole thing. Man, these packages really are. Man, I got to start working out, I guess. All right, finally. Smells like an Oreo and a cinnamon roll had a baby. And that's what it tastes like. A cinnamon roll. I would love this with some ice cream. Like if there's a cookies and cream flavor of ice cream, but made with these instead, I would definitely love that. Overall, for an Oreo, it's a 2. I think they have better flavors for Oreo. However, for a cookie, it's a 3. You like cinnamon rolls? This is a 3. Again, these are from my guy at Out of Town Pop. He has like literally hundreds of stuff. I can't wait to try more. I'll probably be munching on these for the rest of the. I'm gonna leave them right over here. All right. Now to my X talk. Definitely gonna take a sip of this first. Oopsie. Man, it's full on political season right now. My feed is on blast. I think I might have to stop logging into X. Oh, my Be Real popped up. Let's do it. Hi, guys. All right. So, and as always, whenever I quote someone on X, I literally have no clue who they are usually, unless they're actually famous. Nah, I don't know if this person's famous or not. It's at James Poulis. If he's famous, great. If he's not, probably even better. If he's on one side or the other, or you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you're quoting him. That's not why I'm quoting him. I'm literally looking at the words that he said. A big reason reality isn't better represented in our political discourse is it's so painful to discuss aloud. Someone told me once, most things aren't complicated, they're just hard. We make them complicated to avoid the hard part. And then most problems have a simple solution if you think about the right way. So obviously, you're familiar with there's an election going on. Even if you're not American, you're familiar with that. And what's happening is people are saying this side is the only way to think, and this side is the only way to think. And often they're diametrically opposed. Although in some instances, people will call for, say, bodily autonomy on one side, while also then saying you have to do stuff for the good of everybody. Both sides are doing that, not perhaps seeing the hubris in them advocating for both sides of a philosophy, but regarding 2 separate things. And likely they never talk about that, except for to insult the other one that they're doing that, instead of looking at themselves and going, well, in this regard, I feel like I should have bodily autonomy. But on that regard, I don't think that they should have bodily autonomy. If everybody's actually upfront and honest with each other about things, then they would automatically be able to have proper discourse and discussions amongst each other. We can't expect the politicians out there to do that because they win when you're fearful, because you vote for them when you're fearful. And we know that's already going to happen because even now, whatever side you're voting on, or even if you're not voting, you're deciding that based on your fear of the other one instead of, for the most part, it's not 100% of us out there, instead of going, oh, well, these things that this candidate wants to do, I'm on that side, versus, hey, I'm not voting for him because fill in the blank, the reasons why people don't want to vote for Trump. And, oh, I'm not going to vote for her for, fill in the blank for the reasons people don't want to vote for Kamala. I'm not here to say vote for this or vote for that person. If you agree, great. But if you're doing it because you're afraid, just know you're playing into the trap of what they want you to do. And by I mean they, I mean the system. By they, I mean the system. Because it's not just the people running for president, it's the people underneath them that are running for those, and it's all the way down to the mayor and probably districts, supervisors, and whoever it is. So there you are, and folks aren't willing to have the discussion about reality, often because it goes against whatever it is that they believe, but also it makes things true or things not true about things that they fundamentally hold tight. The main issue with politics and the main issue with a democracy, I know that's not what we have, for literal reasons, but also for what do you call it? Satirical reasons or rhetorical reasons. The problem is most of humans, and we know it's like 97% of humans, are not thinking at the capacity beyond their Maslow's needs. Maybe it's a little bit more in a developed world, like whatever, but significant, over 9 out of 10 people are thinking at base level Maslow's needs. They can't even get to the higher levels where it's like, oh, well, what makes me happy? Or where do I want to pursue things? Or how to intellectually, because how to intellectualize things that are real. And we're 100% in this world all about, especially social media, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. This person's good, this person's good, this person's good. We all do that. And it's not about the politicians. It doesn't matter who you trust or who you don't trust, politicians wise, because it's the system and the way it's set up. If somebody, hopefully one day, well, maybe I don't know if I want to run for office. And if I did, I wouldn't say, hey, don't vote for that person because that person's trash, even though they might be trash. I'd say, these are the things that I stand for. And if you're like that, get on this bus. And if you don't, that's fine too. You don't have to believe or agree with these things. But that's not how things happen on almost every level. People don't talk about that. And these are our leaders showing us examples that that's not how to do it. The leaders are the ones talking smack. But imagine if you worked at a company where the CEO says the CFO is trash because the CEO doesn't want the CFO to come up. Or one manager says, oh, well, that other manager sucks. Or even the under people are like, oh, well, I am on team this other manager. And I know it certainly happens, right? But do you like it when it happens at your work or in your family structure with the good cousins and the bad cousins and the good brothers and the bad brothers and the good sisters and the bad sisters? You don't like that in real life. And so it's all the way up to the top. So, and even this conversation right now, people don't want to have it. they probably wouldn't even be willing to have this conversation right now about why do we have to always follow whatever it is that you believe to be true, even in the face of evidence that what you believe to be true isn't true, or the other way around, what you believe to be not true is true, when even though what you really want to believe is that it's not true. That was a long X talk just for you. Be uncomfortable. Move towards what you want instead of what you don't want. All right. Let's get to the philosophy. My timer was off. Can I get a time check? All right. Thanks. All right. Where's the book? War of Art. All right. Resistance is most powerful at the finish line. Odysseus, in the Odyssey, almost got home years before his actual homecoming. Ithaca was in sight, close enough that the sailors could see the smoke of their family's fire on the shore. Odysseus was so certain he was safe, he actually lay down for a snooze. It was then that his men, believing there was gold in an oxhide sack among their commander's possessions, snatched this prize and cut it open. The bag contained the adverse winds which King Aeolus had bottled up for Odysseus when the wanderer had touched earlier at his blessed isle. The winds burst forth now in one mad blow, driving Odysseus's ships back across every league of ocean they had with such difficulty traversed, making him endure further trials and sufferings before at last and alone he reached home for good. The danger is greatest when the finish line is in sight. At this point, resistance knows we're about to beat it. It hits the panic button. It marshals one last assault and slams us with everything it's got. The professional must be alert for this counterattack. Be weary at the end. Don't open up the bag of wind or have someone else open up the bag of wind for you or in spite of you. Even when you're close to completion, even if you've been doing your thing for what seems like decades or actual decades, the voice of resistance is always just one day, 1 hour away from reclaiming victory over you. It's waiting for you to fall asleep, either while you're awake and going through life and falling asleep, or actually literally falling asleep in Odysseus's case. Do not allow yourself to drift off, doze off, until you pass the finish line. And sometimes not even then. Like with every great game or movie or book, there is always a final foe that needs to be vanquished before all can, for the time being, relax. You see this, movies have this thing, and they're like, oh, here we go. Now we're finished. A book. Video games for sure. Sometimes it's the big final foe is within us, and sometimes it's an actual foe. This storyline is in great stories because it's a mirror of how our world works. And more than likely, it comes into balance out us. It comes in to balance out our inflated emotions about something or our inflated egos about something. It also is a test from the universe to see, do you actually want this? Because if you do, in Odysseus' case, did he actually want to go home? Yes. How do we know? Because he had to do the whole journey again and come through it. He could have been, oh my God, we're back here. I'm done, and give up on life, which a lot of people do in their real life. You've likely done it in some area of your life already, and you've likely overcome it in another area of your life, if not many areas of your life. So this is a test. This final foe, resistance being more powerful at the finish line, is there to act, to see, to prove, for you to fight and show that you actually and truly want this, instead of saying that you want it. Love you too, Justin. Thanks for getting likes. I appreciate you. What's up, Aves? Resistance, it recruits allies. Oh, don't you know that? Resistance, by definition, is self-sabotage. But there is a parallel peril that must also be guarded against: sabotage by others. When a writer begins to overcome her resistance, in other words, when she actually starts to write, she may find that those close to her begin acting strange. They may become moody or sullen. They may get sick. They may accuse the awakening writer of changing, of not being the person she was. The closer these people are to the awakening writer, the more bizarrely they will act, and the more emotion they will put behind their actions. They are trying to sabotage her. The reason is that they are struggling consciously or unconsciously against their own resistance. The awakening writer's success becomes a reproach to them, a freaking insult to them. We see that in social media now. We see that in politics. We certainly see that in taxation. We certainly see that in taxing the rich, and all the other polarities we have. If I can beat these demons, why can't they? This is what pops up for them. You are insulting me by being successful is essentially what happens. They take it as an affront, as an attack on themselves, because it kind of is, unconsciously, to be attacked. Because you're going to start judging yourself when somebody else is successful, because why can't that be me? In fact, that's 100% of the taxation discourse. Often, couples or close friends, even entire families, will enter into tacit compacts whereby each individual pledges unconsciously, often, to remain mired in the same slough in which she and all her cronies have become so comfortable. The highest treason a crab can commit is to make a leap for the rim of the bucket. Crabs in a bucket mentality. The awakening artist must be ruthless, not only with herself, but with others. Once you make your break, you can't turn around for your buddy who catches his trouser leg on the barbed wire. You can't. The best thing you can do for that friend, and he'd tell you this himself if he really is your friend, is for you to get over the wall and keep motating. The best and only thing that one artist can do for another is to serve as an example and an inspiration. Now, let's consider the next aspect of resistance symptoms. The best and only thing that one artist can do for another is to serve as an example and an inspiration. This is part of the reason why your well-being is your greatest contribution to humanity. The first enemy that we have to slay when going for what it is that we would like is ourselves. It's our doubt. It's our, can I even do this? Do I want to do this? Oh, it's so hard. All these talks that we have within ourselves. I love you too, Robert. Then the second enemy is those that are closest to us, because of the reasons that Steven just said. And then after that, further out, maybe distant cousins, then maybe coworkers, then maybe keep going out. And finally, the entire world starts hating on you. What are you doing? Look at most successful people that are changing the world, and they still have their haters. And often it's inexplicable and very hypocritical, often too. But you're never going to be able to get rid of the enemies. So you might as well have the world at large hate you than you hate you. What would you rather have? You hate yourself or the whole world hate yourself? Dr. John DeMartini says, I'd rather have the whole world against me than me against me. And now that I've done enough to recruit many, many, many haters, small percentage out of the whole world, but still many haters, like way more than 10. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather those SOBs hate on me than all the negative stuff I had in my own mind 17 and 15 and 20 years ago, and even the negative stuff that comes up in my mind now. But before you get to the, oh my gosh, here's the whole world against you, you get one great exercise from this. Because first you help yourself get through it from your own self. And then, oh, look, the world, there's a hater. I don't even know how they even got on this thing, but I don't know who you are, but you don't even know me. And obviously, by what you're saying, you for sure don't know me. And that's fine, because I'd rather have this nobody here dislike me than me dislike me. Oh, so actually, this is perfect for where I'm going right now. So your first enemy is yourself, and that's the toughest enemy to get through. Then the people closest to you, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, well, are they right? Do I really want to hurt or do all these things, whatever they're saying or not saying, good, and saying that you're bad and saying that you're not good? And then other people and then all of a sudden some hella random ass person starts talking smack. But the thing is by the time you get here to where this person's saying some pretty bull crap ass stuff that they don't even know, and you're going to be so great at vanquishing foes and doubt that it's going to be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, who cares? The only those wishing to get defeated will come fight you, because you're already so great at vanquishing resistance. So somebody that literally doesn't know what the hell they're talking about is going to come and be like, look at me. Hey, here's a circus show over here, blah, blah, blah. But this person literally only came out of the woodwork right now because they want to get defeated. They're used to be getting defeated and like, you know what? I really feel like getting my butt whooped intellectually today, or physically, or well, not physically, emotionally. And so they're going to come out. That's the only foes that are going to come out at the end, is those that want to get defeated. Again, first, you will stop yourself. You know this. Where you've been in your life, whenever you want to move towards something, you stop yourself. How many things have you not done because you stopped yourself before you even began? So first, you'll stop yourself. Don't. Second, your closest friends and family will stop you. Don't. Next, society will stop you. Don't. And then lastly, the universe will stop you. Don't. It's all a test to see if you actually want your dreams. So do you want your dreams? We'll see. Do not fall prey to the suffering obligation of love, like somebody else's morality or how you want to love other people, but they make you feel guilty, so then you martyr yourself. Don't fall for that. That's the suffering obligation of love. And humans do that to each other often. And we put them on a pedestal, but then everybody loses in that case. Everyone around you, especially the ones closest to you, are the ones you will stop yourself for the most. Oh, I can't do that because my mom's going to be embarrassed or my dad's going to be embarrassed. And then it keeps going out. Well, I can't do that because then the school I went to is going to do this, or I'm going to get canceled, or those things. Once you get over yourself, though, once you get over your own self-doubt, everyone else is going to come for you. But you already vanquished the biggest foe, which was you. This is the place where you can become undone the most in order to belong to society, in order to show that you love your family or your friends or a group of people, society or culturally or religiously. The greatest thing you can do for your family and friends, like with the crabs, and the greatest thing you can do for humanity is to go out and live your inspiration with such great ferocity that you inspire others to do the same too. Be how you would want others to be. Like, how are you being right now? Do you want other people to do and say the exact same things about you and to you? You don't. So knock that off. I don't know if you can say it on the internet now. Bleep it out. Knock it off. Love the world and literally every single person that you come across, how you want others to love you. So you don't want people to talk smack about you? Stop talking smack. Even if they deserve the smack talking, why are you doing it? You don't want them to do to you. Every single one of us deserves to have talked about us. But you don't like it when people talk about you and it's true, right? So it's not relevant if it's true or not. Do you want people to talk smack about you? No. So don't talk smack about anybody, even if it's true. Hell, especially if it's true. Dream how you would love to have others dream. Like when you're like, oh, I wish this politician would do that or this politician would do that. You dream the same way that you want other people to dream. What are the reasons you will not move forward? What are the reasons you make up right now about not moving forward, not having the dreams you want other people to dream, not loving people how you want them to love you, and not saying and feeling and doing things to other people that you don't want them to do to you? Move forward anyway. Remember, when life gives you what you want, great. And if life doesn't give you what you want, even better. Your well-being is your greatest contribution to humanity. Especially this chapter brings that to light. There's no exceptions ever. Love you guys. I'm going to be mentioned on these chips for the rest of the day.